Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are, whenever you're watching this. This is Floating in Dreams, and today's video is going to be my new makeup releases discussion for the month of June. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for being here. Today's video, I'm going to be chatting about some of the new makeup releases and some beauty news that stood out to me in the past couple of weeks. I like to come on here once a month to give you my thoughts about the things that I think I'm going to buy and things that I'm like, really, do we need this? So I like going about this in sort of like a top 5, bottom 5 kind of style, where I first talk about the things that I don't feel that interested in, and then we work our way up to the things that I am interested in. And in case you're unfamiliar with this channel and you're new here, hi, my name is Micah. I live in the Netherlands. I love chatting about eyeshadow palettes, essence and Catrice reviews, and getting the use out of my makeup. And because I am a snow angel, meaning I have a fair skin tone with a cool to neutral undertone, I have very different makeup preferences from most people here on the platform. So if you are a snow angel like me, or if you just want to join my little snow angel club, then please hit the subscribe button below the video so you can join my little family here. Before I would like to kick off today's video, I'm gonna have to not only talk about some new makeup releases, but also some beauty news that stood out to me, because there was a lot going on in the past couple of weeks that we haven't discussed yet much on this channel, and I thought I could come on here and sort of give my thoughts on it. The first news that stood out to me is the fact that Lady Gaga's Haus Labs brand is coming to US Sephora. Now, usually when brands come to US Sephora, they ultimately also end up in European Sephora, which I think is a good thing. So far, the brand has only been sold through Amazon, and I try to avoid Amazon wherever I can. Very often there are some products that I had to buy on Amazon, and I always feel a bit bummed about it. So yeah, I haven't really been interested in the brand because that's the only place where I could buy it from. It means there is no physical presence in a store, so you can't go out and swatch it, so you can't really know what the quality is like. So I think it's great for the brand that they can expand their horizons and they can now be present in physical stores. I'm not sure if they're online only or also going to be present in physical stores, but yeah, I have high hopes that now the brand is going to be available in US Sephora, that we're going to get it sometime in the future as well, because I do love myself a little bit of Lady Gaga, and she has come out with some interesting products over time. It's just difficult to get my hands on with all the shipping and all that, so that's why I thought this is a good thing. I like this one. Another thing that surprised me is the announcement that the founders of Too Faced are going to be stepping down. They're going to be taking a back seat from Too Faced. So I'm talking about Jared Blandino and his partner, Jeremy, I think his name is. I never know his last name. But they have, they're the heart of the brand. They started in 1998. And they've really grown the brand to what it is today. The brand was sold to Estee Lauder a couple of years ago, and it seems that now the brand is just going to be part of Estee Lauder, and they're going to have someone new brought in to probably run the business as well. But maybe behind the scenes that may already have been the case. But yeah, both of them are stepping away from Too Faced, and we'll see what happens to the brand then, because Too Faced is one of those brands where I'm predicting it's like, Urban Decay and Becca, and that maybe they're struggling a little bit, and that, the brand is going to disappear, because Too Faced hasn't really come out with anything too interesting as of late, at least not to me. So that's why Too Faced as a brand, I'm very curious where it's going to go. Now the original owners are no longer going to be involved. I'm very curious to see. And then, sad tear, Bite Beauty is closing down. In case you haven't heard yet, I think they're Canadian brand. Bite Beauty is shutting down their makeup line, but not their Bite Beauty lip labs, which I'm very happy with, because when I visited New York in 2019, I did go to the Bite Beauty lab, and I did make myself 2 lipsticks, which was a great, really fun experience. I have found, however, that I now have lipsticks in my regular makeup collection that are exactly the same, and they seem to expire more quickly than most lipsticks. Bite Beauty lipsticks usually do, because they are all natural, and Bite Beauty is one of those brands where when I could still shop from US Sephora until the laws in the EU changed, I could still shop through US Sephora. I definitely got myself some Bite Beauty lipsticks because They were all the rage, and the formula is one of the most comfortable ones I had ever tried. So I had this whole array. I finally decluttered a couple this year because some of them had expired, or I just found that very creamy, rich formula that the brand was doing in their bullet lipsticks just didn't really go with the shade and what I got out of it. Like, it would transfer really badly. But yeah, some of the best, most comfortable lipsticks I still own till this day are from Bite Beauty, and their shade Rhubarb has been a staple in my collection for such a long time. So I'm very sad to see them disappear. However, Bite Beauty is another one of those brands where I'm like, they just couldn't keep up. And they did do a couple of releases that interested me, but because Bite Beauty is a brand that was never sold here in Europe, it was quite difficult to buy from. I think around like a year or two ago, they did open their website to international shipping. And I remember like browsing the website at the time, but there wasn't enough for me to make it worth it to place an order because I was mainly interested in the lipsticks, and at the time that foundation hadn't launched yet, none of those cheek products had launched yet, but those cream blushes, liquid blushes that they had, as well as the foundation, I think it was called the Changemaker foundation, those all interested me quite a bit, but they were all released without me really being able to try them because I couldn't really get my hands on it easily enough. And that's just one of the things that also goes into a lot of the things that I know I won't be picking up. It's just either very difficult or very expensive to buy. And as I'm sort of going into summer, I'm going to be on a huge low buy because I'm remodeling parts of my home. So I need to put any funds I have into this home makeover rather than into makeup. So that's definitely going to factor into this as well. So for like the next 2 or 3 months, I probably won't have a lot of products that I will be buying. I'm probably going to like save up a bit of a wish list, and then at the end of summer, I can like buy some things again. But yeah, the next couple of months, I don't think I will be buying a lot of makeup. And that's a nice bridge into the no section of my new releases. So these are the releases that I'm like, yeah, these can work for people. I think that for the brand, this may be a clever move. But for me, what I like going for and where I'm at in my makeup journey, they just wouldn't work. So maybe they are perfect for you, but I know they won't work for me. So let me talk to you about those things. First on the list, Urban Decay mini eyeshadow palettes. A lot of people were already asking me in comments and also on my Instagram, are you going to buy these? Urban Decay, where I live, is incredibly behind on the times. I have yet to spot the Urban Decay Naked 3 Mini in stores here. The brand is completely taken out of stores here anyway, so we can only buy it online anymore. And also on the website, the Naked 3 Mini has not come to the Netherlands. I had to order mine from the UK through Call Beauty. So I think these are just going to be pretty difficult for me to get a hold of. The only one out of the 3 that I look at and go like, and that's the Foxy one. Sin is very much like Naked 3 Mini, but a bit more warm toned. And then Half Baked is bronzy browns, so I didn't need that either. Are these nice? I think that if you look at, Urban Decay's aim at like a regular consumer, then I think these can work. Nice. It's okay. However, is it perfect for what I need in my makeup collection and with the amount of eyeshadow I already have? The answer is no. Moving on. Next up, something that greatly tempted me. I actually put this in a shopping cart, put it all together, and then was like, but Micah, when are you going to have time to create content with this and post it? And the answer was, you don't. So I decided to not buy the Kiko Festival Glow collection. There were a lot of products here that really stood out to me. They actually have a cream like bronzer and highlighter in the collection that looks very much like a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Spotlight highlighter, like the ones in a squeezy tube with like that foamy applicator at the top. Kiko and Charlotte Tilbury, I have heard, are made in the same factory, and this is another one of those products where I was like, I think I heard that right. So Kiko does some really, really cool products, and I think that if I were able to do a dedicated video to this Kiko collection, that it could get quite a lot of views, which is why I would be doing it and testing it out. However, for my pale skin, Kiko is usually a bit too dark and a bit too warm toned. So for a lot of the other products in this line, I looked at them online and I was like, based on my experience with the brand, a lot of the other products just weren't quite right for me, and Kiko isn't as cheap as a Essence and Catrice that I'm like, I don't really mind if the product doesn't work. Like with Kiko, everything is like 10 to 15 euros, sometimes a little over that. So buying a full face of like a limited edition collection like this is close to 200 euros. And to me, that wasn't an expense I could warrant at this point in time. Also with the remodel coming up. And I had to pre-film a lot from May and June so that when there are people in my house building a new kitchen and a new bathroom that I, you know, with all the mess that it makes, that I just wouldn't have the space to film, nor the quiet time in my house. So I've pre-filmed tons of things just to be able to get it all done. And this just didn't fit into the schedule. So that's why by the time I would be able to post this video, it would have been July. And it just doesn't make any sense to be, you know, posting a collection that came out at the start of May to post about it in July. I would throw away my money. And yeah, some interesting products here, but I decided against it. Then the Alien Cosmetics All I Ever Wanted #2 palette. So if you were here last Friday, I showed you my monthly haul, and I did very briefly show the palette that I already mentioned in my May monthly haul, but that hadn't gotten here yet, and it was the Fall Magic palette. And I now have 5 Alien Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes. So I think I'm good for the moment when it comes to Alien Cosmetics shadows. I think I have the color stories from them that I like. This one just didn't really spark my interest. I looked at it and was like, it's just another colorful palette. And I like colorful eyeshadow. That's what I love about Alien Cosmetics, is their color stories that are much more unique and a little bit more out there and outspoken. So I love me some Alien Cosmetics shadows, but this just didn't tickle that itch. I looked at it and I went like, I think it's already sold out as well. I'm like, no, this is not something I really, really need. And then a palette that caused a little bit of a storm, it seems. It's the Cosmic Brushes. I believe it's called the Serenity palette, and it's blue, greens, and purples. And if you know anything about me, then you know that I love green, purple, blue eyeshadow like that. If I'm going colorful, those are the colors I would reach for. It seems to have some interesting shades here as well. It's also a UK-based indie brand, meaning they're located in Europe, meaning that shipping and handling fees wouldn't be as outrageous as when I'm getting it from the US. And the palette isn't super duper expensive. It retails for £20, 24 euros, I believe, which I think is a great price point for such a large palette. So I would be curious to try this, but at the same time, this is another one of those brands that, you know, kind of underestimated how popular their release would be. So it's probably going to be a while before they can restock this and before, you know, I could get my hands on it. And if I'm very fair, do I need another palette with a color story that sparks my interest, but that I know I probably won't use over other blue, green, and purple palettes in my collection? I have really narrowed down my eyeshadow palette collection when I last decluttered it to like my favorites when it comes to those colors, and I don't really feel like trying anything at the moment. At the moment, what I'm very much sort of lusting after, what makes my heart beat faster, is neutrals. So then does it make sense to buy a very colorful eyeshadow palette? Maybe not. Maybe just stick to the things I have for those moments where I do want to make something more colorful, but this is not something I need to add to my collection. Maybe at some point, like if this still sparks my interest like 6 months down the line and the hype has died down and it's going to be easier to buy it, I might still pick it up because it is quite affordable. Then I'm always curious to see what the formula is like. But maybe they do also start doing some other palettes now. I believe this is their first palette release. Spectrum Brushes has come out with a Tinkerbell collection. Now again, if you watch my monthly makeup haul, you saw I got some Refer brushes in. And Spectrum Brushes is another brush brand I would like to try at some point. not sure yet when, but they seem to be doing a lot of these like collections. And I like to also be able to pick and choose from a brand what brushes I'm getting. The only thing this really has going for it is that the brushes are green, because I'm currently really looking also for brushes that sort of stand out in the sea of brushes so that I actually know what I'm reaching for. So the only thing this really has going for it is that it's a color, it looks cute, it's Tinkerbell, I get it. But for me, I'd rather just have a different brush that's then a little bit cheaper, because Spectrum brushes aren't that affordable. And online, whenever I've looked at them, they don't look that luxurious. I would have to feel these like in store to see how they would like go. But yeah, Spectrum brushes is another brand that I am interested in to see what they have on offer and to just give them a whirl. Another no from me is the Odin's Eye Solomona 2 collection. So I saw that Odin's Eye was going to be doing another collection, and I love myself some Odin's Eye. I love the original Solomona eyeshadow palette, which they discontinued, sadly. But the Odin's Eye Solomona 2 color story, I looked at and I went like, really? And this is another one of those palettes where it really matters who took the picture, what the palette looks like. So in some pictures, this looks really, really warm tone that I've seen. And in others, it looks like the warm tones are mainly in the bottom row. And then there are quite a lot of cool tones actually at the top. Now, I have the experience with the Odin's Eye, the Norns collection. I have there the Norns palette, where also, if you look at it, it looks quite warm toned, but the way the shades play together work really well on my skin tone. So I'm kind of hoping that this palette is like that. Here's the thing. This is another color story where I'm like, I think I already have this, so I don't really need it. And for me to then not know exactly what I'm buying because it looks so differently in all the different images, that's actually what now is throwing me off from buying certain products. I just wish that both brands and creators would be like better at showing what a product actually looks like in real life and not make it 25,000 times more exciting than what it actually is going to do. By that I mean, you know, showing a palette in natural daylight rather than studio lighting, no filters, no nothing, no extra sharpening or whatever it is that people do in post. And also when they swatch things, that it's not like these caked on swatches with a stencil, but just, you know, this. That shows me what a shadow can do, or maybe, you know, like a brush swatch or something. But I just find with this one, I just can't really tell what this is going to do for me. And that's why I'm like, at this moment, no can do. I wanted to mention a ColourPop release here because when I first spotted this, it did sort of like make me go like, ooh, that's nice. And it's the new Getting Fresh palette that they have announced. So this is one of their larger palettes. And you know me and larger palettes, I don't love that. I'm not about the large palette life. But this, because of those really nice bright greeny shades, I was like, ooh, that's so pretty. Neutrals that seem also a bit more cool toned and a mix of like neutrals and warm tones and with a pop of green. I mean, it's so pretty. But then I look at the palette again and you get like, what, 6 green shades? Why? I want there to be like more greens. If I were to go for a palette this big, I want it to be like green with some neutrals instead of like loads of neutrals with just like a few greens. So for me, the balance in the palette just isn't there. And then again, I don't find this worth it at all. So far this year, I haven't really been excited for any ColourPop launch. I also need to mention a new release from Maybelline. And again, someone mentioned already in the comments like, hey, are you going to get these? It's the new Shadow Block Quads, and these look cool. I think they look really, really nice. The reason why I won't be buying them though, is because I won't be able to buy them. By the time this will come my way, I don't know, but nobody will be interested in it anymore. Maybelline hasn't released any of their new releases where I live in the past 2 years. The only reason why I was able to try the Lifter Gloss is because that was stocked on Beauty Bay. Because they do sell Maybelline. So maybe if this comes to Beauty Bay, I might be able to buy it. I don't know. But I think it's going to be very difficult for me to find this, because Beauty Bay, for instance, also didn't get any of the new like base makeup that Maybelline has been announcing. So there's a very big gap between what I can see is on offer based on what I find information-wise on Instagram, and then what I can actually go out and buy. So for me, the Maybelline shadow boxes, shadow blocks I should call them, are a no for me, because I know I won't be able to buy them. So when it comes to these kind of releases, I just temper my expectations straight away, because if I feel very enthusiastic about it, I'm like, ooh, I want to try that. And then it just, you know, for the next 10 months, I might be looking for this release and never find it. So that's why I'm like, you know what? If you somehow run into it at some point, I might be like, oh, nice. I can try one of these, but I suspect that's not going to happen anytime soon. Viseart came out with the Petit Four range with some brighter shades. I have one of their Petit Fours in like this really nice taupey neutral shade. I don't know why, but for me, Viseart and Brights isn't exactly the first thing I would think of. Even though some people did really like their matte rainbow palette that they used to rave about, you know, with the clear packaging. So I'm sure they can do it, but it wouldn't be my first brand to go to. And while these quads look nice, I'm a bit like with the other colorful things, it's just not where I'm going right now with my makeup. So for me, this is a no. Those were the definite no's. I'm going to move you into maybes. So products that I might put on the wish list, that I might consider buying, thinking about it, whatever. The Benefit new blushes. I'm very excited. For months now, whenever I've seen a Benefit counter, it looks so empty. Like none of the cheek products are in stock. So I'm like, Benefit, what's going on? As it turns out, they were probably reformulating. So I'm very curious to see if this blush formula is anything like what they've done before. My favorite shade, Coralista, has been discontinued now, which it's a bit nerve-wracking, but they seem to have a shade that is similar. So I'm hopeful that there's going to be a shade for me. Yeah, I just really like the Benefit blushes, and the boxes now are also slimmer, it seems, which Nabla has come out with a new primer. It's this like sort of Glossier Future Dew kind of vibe. That's what it's giving me. It does look very peachy though, when I've seen people use it on Instagram, which is the only reason why I'm going like, ooh, I don't know. But I think it's a good release. I quite like Nabla's base products and cheek products. So far, I've tried a lot of Nabla products that I really liked. So I don't know, maybe this is a good one. It seems to be more hydrating, not that like full coverage kind of thing. It seems to be more like that super glowy, dewy sort of look that I love. So this is a product that has definitely sparked my interest, but I think I want to see some more reviews on it before I decide to buy. I already mentioned how much I love neutrals at the moment, and Juvia's Place has released an entire nude line from lipsticks to eyeshadow, and that palette is calling out my name. I don't know why. I haven't really tried much of Juvia's Place's recent releases. I tried the Wahala 2 is I think the last release they did that I tried. So I think that's like, what, 2 years ago now? It's been a while since I tried anything new from Juvia's Place. So maybe this is something that I would like to buy. I'm not entirely sure at the moment. Juvia's Place has also been doing some like dubious things, so then do I want to promote that brand on my channel? That's always a thing I have to take into account. But when it comes to like this palette and whether it sparks my interest, this is definitely one that like, boom, yeah, pick me, buy me. It's definitely saying that to me, so I'm gonna put it on a wish list for now, because again, Juvia's Place I need to buy from their official website, which means shipping and handling fees and customs and making it 25,000 times more expensive. So I may want to save it for a Black Friday haul and then get some more bits, because I'm sure that between now and Black Friday, Juvia's Place will have like another 1 or 2 releases. And then maybe also try some of their base products now. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, maybe there's a Juvia's Place order in the cards. Another release that very much intrigued me is the new release from Sigma. They have some cheek products out, which I think is great. I mainly know Sigma for their brushes, and they have been doing like other products on and off in the line, but it seems like nothing else is really catching on. But now that their eyeshadow palettes seem to be having more of a following, they seem to be dipping their toes into other products again, which I think is great. So there's a line of bronzers, highlighters, blushes, and some of the shades look really nice. I'm really not in the market for blush, bronzer, and heart highlight at the moment though. I'm mainly trying out cream formulas. That's where my heart currently lies. So these don't really necessarily go with what I want right now, but I think at some point in the future, these Sigma cheek products are definitely going to be something I would like to try out. And another thing that made me go like, ooh, nice, NARS. They are coming out with cream bronzers. And I don't know, probably because I'm into cream so much that I would like to say, okay, maybe I can just give it another try. Here's the thing. I tried NARS Laguna way back in the day when everyone was raving about NARS Orgasm and NARS Laguna. That was like, you had this holy grail trinity of NARS products like 10 years ago that everybody was recommending. NARS Laguna, NARS Orgasm, and NARS Albatross. Those were like the 3 cheek products that everybody had to have in their makeup collection. You can see how pale I am, right? Yeah. Let's just say that Laguna never, ever worked for me. It was so muddy and just not great looking on me. So I hope it comes in a light enough shade. Maybe. But overall, NARS's line is just a line that whatever I've tried from them, save for, I think, the Soft Matte Creamy Concealer that I really like, and the highlighter in Fort de France, I don't think I have tried anything from the brand that really stuck with me. And that's why I'm a bit on the fence about trying more NARS. I'm like, do I want to put my money towards a brand where I know it's going to be like a 80% chance that the product is just not going to last in my makeup collection for a long time? Because it's not that they were bad products, it's just products that just didn't end up working for me because they weren't perfect. And NARS is a bit too expensive to be making those kind of mistakes. So those were all of the maybes, and then I have 3 yeses. Another bronzer. M Cosmetics is coming out with bronzers, yay. But I already mentioned it in my monthly makeup haul, but I did place an order with M Cosmetics already that is currently making its way to me. So I'm not in the market at the moment to be buying from the brand. They are very expensive for me to get. So it's like a treat yourself once a year kind of moment so far for me. So this is definitely going to be on the back burner, and whenever I'm going to buy some more M Cosmetics products, I might be putting this in my order as well. But yeah, this is definitely not something that I need to buy and get straight away. Fenty lip stains. I spotted these and I was like, yes, that is something that I want. I love Fenty glosses, so I hope they can also do a lip stain. And Fenty for me is another brand that's a bit hit or miss. Like, some products I really like, and then the other products that I don't like really don't work for me. So for me, Fenty is, you know, one that I would like to try. I can order them online through Sephora France. So maybe I can pick one of these up at some point. And finally, the Charlotte Tilbury Quick and Easy Instant Look. So Charlotte Tilbury has come out with this little container with 3 cream products inside. I think it's like a blush and cheek duo, kind of like 2-in-1 product, and then a highlighter and like a contour bronzery kind of shade. It comes pre-made in like different shades that, you know, the brand has already put together. However, you can also make up your own set and buy the little container with 3 of the products inside it if you would like to as well. That is more expensive though. That may be good to know. Plus, the actual product doesn't come with a lid, so unless you carry the entire tin, you won't be able to take these anywhere else. However, I think this is very clever, very smart. I would love to like be able to use this like when I travel or do anything like that. It's great for like makeup on the go. So I'm very intrigued with this, and I think one of the shades may actually be pretty nice on me personally. So this is definitely one where I'm like, okay, this is going to go on the wish list for now, because Charlotte Tilbury is another brand that I don't shop from really unless it's like Black Friday and I can get a deal. She does do quite a lot of deals on her website, so it's definitely something you need to like keep an eye on, and then you can get things at a more affordable price point. But Charlotte Tilbury also throws in quite a lot of like freebies if you buy from her website directly. So yeah, I think I'm just going to put this one also on the back burner. Not something I can buy right now. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to trying that at some point. So those are the products that stood out to me, either in a not for me kind of way or a yay, I'd like to get this kind of way for me. So I hope you really enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more by me. I make several videos a week, so if you'd like to stay tuned for more. And then I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye!